All right, so we got to do an updated version of the J-Rod coverage. So, as you guys probably already saw, I did a video about J-Rod's situation with B Team right after I found out about what had happened, and I was speculating on a lot of things. And after I did that video, where I basically was like, look, he's a good, I think he's a good dude. He just made a mistake and, whatever. And now he's like lost everything and yada, yada, yada. Then I heard he had made deep fakes of these girls at B Team. And if you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, let me just rewind. So the guy you're looking at here, this is J-Rod, Jacob Rodriguez, formerly of the B Team, one of the best submission grapplers in the world, and an incredible talent in submission grappling. And he had gotten kicked off of his team, and it was very bizarre because everyone was like, J-Rod got kicked off the team? It's like, what could he have possibly done to deserve that? Like, he must have done something insane. And then the word came down that he had some inappropriate interactions with girls on the team, and then something about there was stuff in his phone, which was a little bit cryptic, which then subsequently people were like, oh, he made deep fake videos. He took the headshot pictures of girls from his team and then made deep fake, pornographic videos with these girls, right? Which, if that's what he did, I would say is a massive problem. Like, that's an incredibly invasive thing to have done because you're creating a piece of content that all but frames the girls as having participated in one of the most there's a pretty strong dividing line in the world. It's like, hey, are you a person that's ever touched a child in a way they didn't like? And it's like, no. Okay, cool. So you're over here with us. And if someone's like, well, I did one time, I just couldn't control myself and I put my hands on the kid. It's like, okay, so you're over there. You're over there. There's no coming back from over there, dude. Okay? No coming back from over there. You are on Pedophile Island with the other freaks that should probably just, you know what I mean? Kind of a pretty hard divide. Have you ever drugged a woman? Yes, I did that one time. Whoop, there you go. You're over there too, dude. Okay? Go over on that side of the line, dude. Okay? You drugged a woman? Yeah, I couldn't help myself. Okay, go over with the kitty diddlers, you fucking creep. Get the fuck out of here, right? And then it's like, have you ever hit a woman? They're all, I did twice. You're all right. You're not quite as bad as those other guys. Well, you're kind of almost as bad as someone who drugged someone. Either way, that side of the line, no coming back, dude. Okay, can't beat up women. Can't drug women. Can't grape people. Can't touch kids, right? Over there, right? So, listen. What J-Rod had done in either case was definitely not on the other side of that line. However, the point I was making is if a girl has ever participated in a pornographic video willingly, yeah, I'll take money to take a gigantic kick, as hard as he can thrust it on video so that you can distribute that to as many people as possible and men can watch me get pounded out. It's like, it's a different line, you're not over there with them, but you're definitely over there, Like, we could be friends. It's actually, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of edgy that you've done that. But you're definitely on the other side of a line that exists. You're a person who's participated in that. So you got to go over there, right? If you create fake content that makes it seem like someone who had not done that had done that, you can't do that. You absolutely cannot do that, right? So that's where I was like, all right, okay. Like, that's pretty, even though, in the hypothetical that we were talking about, right? It would have been for personal consumption. He would have created it so that he could watch it. And I assume, whatever you would do with a thing like that, that's still a pretty big deal, right? But apparently that was not what he did either, because he has clarified his position on exactly what happened because so many rumors were flying. Now, one thing I want to talk about real quick before I even get into what J-Rod has said about it, because he's like, right, what we're looking at right here on the left is him being very clear about exactly what happened. And he's not defending himself. He has taken 100% responsibility. And keep in mind, this guy, like, I'm making jokes about this stuff. He's lost everything. Okay. I saw a comment underneath this where someone was like, oh, still doesn't blah, blah, blah. Cause he didn't do any of those. Like, the stuff that we were talking about, that's not what he did. Okay. What he did was way less predatory than that. Like, way less predatory than that. So I just want to be clear that, like, when I saw this comment underneath that post, someone was like, you blah, 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 or they were calling him a liar. And J-Rod responded and he was like, I have no reason to lie. I've already lost everything. I lost my team. I lost all of my sponsors. I lost my ability to train. I lost whatever. And I read that. I'm like, damn, dude. Like, and he's not even defending himself. He's just taking it on the chin, you know? Like, bottom line, he's just taking it on the chin. He's like, I've already lost everything. And I thought about that. I'm like, that's true. He's a 23-year-old professional submission grappler who's now been painted with the, like, grapist brush. Like, it never washes off, okay? Like, that never washes off. So I'm going to do what I do here, and I'm going to cover this, now that we have much more solid information, the way that I see it. Simple as that. And so I want to actually start here with the girls, all right? Because I have advice for the girls that I cannot stress enough should be taken as gospel, okay? Do not say anything about this case publicly, okay? I cannot stress that enough. One of the girls who had implied that she was going to come out and tell her story, I actually DM'd her, like, frantically. I was like, dude, do not do this. Like, do not do this. I'm trying to help you. I have 3 daughters. I have a wife, okay? Like, I am, as much as I'm, like, I sound like I'm kind of like, I feel for J-Rod. There's no bad guys in this story. But what I'm telling you is if you are trying to have your career move along and not have this be a thing, do not say anything. Never talk about this. No matter what your involvement is, never say a fucking word about this publicly, okay? Take my advice or don't, but it is absolutely inevitable what will happen if you do, and I don't even want to say it publicly because I don't want to trigger that happening anyway, but for God's sake, do not talk about this publicly if you're a girl that was in any way involved in this, okay? It's all bad. It is all bad. Okay, now, so let's watch what J-Rod said here, and, let me actually just say this real quick. You can do whatever you want, actually. It's your life. It's your story. If you want to talk about it, talk about it. But what's going to happen if you do, okay, it doesn't take a lot of trolls to make your life incredibly, incredibly challenging. And if you want to tell a story publicly under the belief that everyone is going to be like a logical viewer, like I would, or like the people who you hang around with would, that is a false belief that does not exist in real life, okay? Every single Nimrod on earth that is able to harass people anonymously on the internet will also see whatever you put out, and they will form whatever opinion that you have. And in case you guys haven't been paying attention to like modern society, there seems to be quite a few, male people who are at home on their computer and their cell phones who don't have a very high regard for women. And when it comes to this kind of thing, are looking for any excuse to hate on a girl and feel justified doing it and then harass them about it. Okay. So like when I say don't say anything about this publicly, this is me absolutely trying to protect you from shitheels that I would beat up in real life if I ever ran into them. But you never know who they are. They do it anonymously. That's the whole point. Okay. So I'm not attacking you guys at all. I am trying to help you when I say that. Okay. So that out of the way. Let's listen to what J-Rod said here. And actually, let's look at this real quick. So he posted this and he said this. I want to publicly and sincerely apologize to those who were directly affected by my past actions. I recognize the harm I've caused and take full accountability. To those individuals, I am truly sorry. I also ask that the public show them the respect and the considerations they deserve by refraining from contacting or attempting to identify them. Sorry about that. But again, I was responding to them saying, I'm going to come out and tell my whole story. And I was like, oh my God, I need to save her from this. Anyway, consideration and they deserve by refraining from contacting or attempting to identify them. Their privacy and well-being should be the priority. And I hope everyone can honor that moving forward. Thank you. Absolutely great post. Like I said, these girls did nothing wrong, dude. And he's handling this like a man. Okay. Now, this is what he put out yesterday that clarified what he actually did, and which gives me the ability to kind of update my thoughts on this entire thing.
I just wanted to come on here and offer some clarity and just be transparent with everything that has been going on. So in regards to what was on my phone, there was screenshots of woman's public Instagram page, as well as explicit material. I am aware that this is invasive, inappropriate, and just unhealthy behavior. And I am also aware that just because these posts were public, it does not make my actions okay, and I take full accountability for everything that I've done. Now, in regards to the rumors that I'm hearing using AI to generate explicit material, secretly taking photos or videos of people, more people being involved than there actually is. These rumors are false, and it only drags more people into something that they are not a part of.
Okay, let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest. What was the first thing that you thought to yourself when you heard that J-Rod had made deep fake AI videos? Taken faces from other pictures and then made deep fakes. Okay? I'll tell you exactly what I thought. I was like, God damn. He's way smarter than I thought he was. Give me a fucking break, dude. Okay? J-Rod knows how to use high-end deep fake technology. Yeah, right. Okay. I should have known that was bullshit right out of the gate for that reason. Right? Anyway, I'm not making jokes, but I am actually being serious. It's like, we should have known that was not real. Okay. Like, if I don't know how to do something, okay, and I sit here on the computer and do fucking videos and I edit videos and I do thumbnails and all this, if I don't know how to do something, there's no fucking way that he knows how to do it, because I would make deep fakes of my guy friends all the fucking time, and I would send them to him in text threads. I'd be like, dude, look at Nick. Dude, I knew you got fired, but I didn't know you got a new job so fast, dog. Okay? Now, I think everyone can acknowledge that's a little bit less invasive when it's a dude and you just send it to your best friends. So any guy friends that have crews like mine, I highly suggest that you get on that and do the same thing, because it's a really funny joke. However, I don't know how to do it, and it's a fucking joke. I wasn't really going to do it anyway. Okay, so here's the deal. Here is the deal. J-Rod had his entire life implode because he imagined that girls that he knew in real life were the girls that he was watching in corn videos. By the way, you can't say that word very many times before they demonetize your video. That's why people say corn or grape or whatever. So, again, all right, all you guys in jiu-jitsu who are watching this video, okay, go ahead and comment that you've never watched a corn video and pretended that a girl in the video was someone that you knew in real life. Go ahead, guys. Go ahead. And then lie detector yourself right next to that. Give me a fucking break, okay? Now, here's the real question. How on earth are you dumb enough to get caught for what you imagine when you're by yourself watching corn? That's the question, okay? J-Rod, you're dumb. Okay? That's you want to know my honest thought? J-Rod's, that's dumb. That's just dumb. A fucking folder, dude. A folder with photographs of the girl and the video that you thought most resembled them that you were going to watch. Dude. Guy. What did you think would happen if someone saw that? Okay? That's dumb, man. That's dumb. But I told you guys he's not a bad guy, dude. Did I not? My first video, I was like, dude, he's not a bad guy. Now, if anybody thinks that what he's acknowledging is like, we should burn his life down, I don't agree, okay? I'm sorry, I don't agree. Now, here's the other side of the conversation, though. Should the girls be forced to just be like, wait a minute, he took a picture of me and then found like corn stars that he thought I looked like, and then he would watch them and pretend that they're me? What the fuck? Like, that's not their fault either. And they, you're kind of at the in a situation like that, the girls are completely within their rights to do to feel however they want to feel about it. If that makes them wildly uncomfortable to be around him after that, I don't think that's like very hard to understand. You know what I mean? Like, that's just one of those things. There's no master villain in this thing. The girls are completely allowed to feel any way that they want about that. Especially, okay? I am actually telling you exactly what I think here. I'm not being careful. I'm just telling you what I think, right? If the girls in question, right? And again, like, I actually don't know who all these girls are, but like, let's say hypothetically, right, that there was some jiu-jitsu girl who was a member of that team and she kind of like doubled having an OnlyFans, okay? And like put out content of herself and very, like, oh, here's me in my fucking G-string, lingerie or whatever, okay? If you found pictures from her public Instagram with porn videos and then she complained and got the guy kicked off the team, I'd be like, fuck you, dude. Are you kidding me? You are selling sexualized content of yourself. You can't complain if fucking some dude on your team jerks off thinking about you. But if they don't do that, that's different. That's the whole point. Okay. Like, it's like, nah, dude. Okay. Like, in my mind, a girl who has like done an OnlyFans and like puts out content that's like, hey, I do OnlyFans, which is fine, by the way. I got no problem with girls who do OnlyFans at all. I mean, I don't want my fucking daughters to do it. But like, if I found out some chick friend of mine does OnlyFans, I don't care. I don't care at all. Zero. I have zero judgment at all. That's not on there's no like, that's not on another side of a line, unless she's like parading strangers in to like participate with her or whatever. If it's like just her, even if she's banging on it, dude, if it's like her boyfriend or whatever, I don't care. That's not on any line. That's not on the other side of any line with any of these people. Okay. But if they do that, okay, what do you think people are doing when they pay for your photographs, right? Like, you're on OnlyFans. They are going to rub one out to it, most likely. Okay, like that's what you're selling, right? Here, you can pay for these pictures that you can use to assist you in relieving yourself or whatever. Okay, but if girls haven't done that, like that is a big dividing line for the girls, though. And so if a girl has not opted into that, then that is a huge invasion of privacy if a girl finds out that you were doing that. So, like, if they're feeling uncomfortable, like, I don't want to be around that fucking guy, they're not doing anything wrong. You know what I mean? They were just training. They had nothing to do with any of this. But that said, I don't think it is even moderately reasonable for people to group J-Rod in as, like, some kind of, like, sexual predator. Like, that's what he did, and this is probably the most, like, G-rated version. I mean, not G-rated. The opposite of G-rated, but you know what I mean. Like, in terms of, like, because a scandal like this, dude, if it's not talked about honestly, is like a thing that could literally end up where he has no team to train with forever. Now, I realize I'm going to take a ton of shit in the comments about this. I don't fucking care, dude. Okay? I just say what I think. Now, the priority always with me is women's safety. Do they feel safe? Do they feel comfortable? Okay? I'm not in any way condemning the girls at all. I think I should have been making that very clear. But J-Rod's not a sexual predator, dude. Okay? He's just not. He made a real bad decision. And you have to ask yourself, how the fuck do you get caught for the things that you imagined in your own brain by yourself? Okay? And so this is the last thing that I will leave with you guys. And I'm probably going to put this at the front of the video. Imagine if every internal thought that you have had was out in the open for everybody to judge. Okay? Because that's honestly, now that we know the truth of what this is, that is what J-Rod is being judged on, is what was in his own brain while he is by himself. Okay? Just to put it in perspective, that is what happened. The girls have done nothing wrong. Everyone should leave the girls alone 100%. But when you're pointing a dirty finger at J-Rod, you are pointing your dirty finger at J-Rod for him thinking about something alone, imagining something alone, which through bad decisions on his part in terms of how he organized shit in his phone blew up in his face. I have, man, if people knew, and not in this particular category, but my goodness, I have fantasized about some horrific violent responses to things. Like where people be like, holy shit, that guy's fucking crazy. And I'd be like, I didn't like how that guy looked at my fucking kids, man. Like, I didn't like that at all. So, yeah. I did consider pulling his skin off and then, burning his house down. That's a bad example. Like, that's not something that actually happened. I'm just saying, like, everybody has crazy thoughts, man. Okay? Anyway, that's what I got.